Okay, welcome Barkai Yeshiva students. We are very excited to conduct an interview for our Hakham HaHodesh program. We have the distinct honor of interviewing Jakey Kassin, who is the grandson of our Hakham of this month, Hakham Ya'kov Kassin. And we have two eighth grade students here to help conduct the interview. We actually have the great granddaughter of Rabbi Jacob Kassin, Sarah Shem Tov of HE. And we also have Leslie Nishon, also from HE. So without further ado, we are going to now start the interview. So ladies, take it away.
So where was the rabbi born?
The rabbi was born in Yerushalayim, Palestine. His father, actually, Rabbi Shaul, was actually born in Aleppo, Syria. He was there for many years, married. However, he couldn't have any children. So the rabbis of Aleppo, Halab, told him, "Mishaneh makom, mishaneh mazalo. If you change your place, you'll change your mazal." So in the 1880s, 1890s, he moved from Aleppo to Yerushalayim. And from there, he was blessed with three boys and a girl. Avraham, his oldest son, Yaakov, Rabbi Kassin, and Rabbi Shlomo, all three rabbis, and a girl. And they settled in Yerushalayim. And Rabbi Jacob Kassin himself was born in the year 1900. His parents, Rabbi Shaul and his mother Altun, were young at the time, and at 16 years old, actually, he became an orphan. They both passed away due to the lack of food in Yerushalayim at the time. So at the age of 16, he was already by himself, and he was studying in Purat Yosef. And the rabbis of Purat Yosef took him in. Happened to be that there was a great Kabbalist rabbi, Rabbi Shaul Dweck HaKohen. His name is, they call him Sadeh, Shaul Dweck HaKohen, that was one of the biggest Kabbalists in the world. And he was getting a little bit hard to see, he couldn't see well. So he called Purat Yosef, he said, "Please, we'd like you to send one of your students to study with the rabbi." So the one they chose was Rabbi Yaakov Katzin to study with him. So he studied with him for about 2-3 years, actually, day in, day out. And over there, that's where Rabbi Kassin learned the deep meanings of the Kabbalah from Rabbi Shaul Dweck HaKohen. That's where the beginning was of his life. And then at the age of 18, there was a rabbi there called Rabbi Eliezer Levi. No, Rabbi Eliezer Yedid HaLevi. And he said to Rabbi Kassin, "I'd like you to take you to someone's house." Who is it? Rabbi Kabbalist Shalom Hedaya, to visit. So they visit the rabbi, and a young girl came in. Her name was Mazal, and she served them some sweets. So when she left the room, Rabbi Yedid and Rabbi Hedaya told Rabbi Kassin, you like the girl? So he said, yeah. He said, would you like to marry her? He said, yes. And then her mother was listening in the kitchen, and she started to cry. She said, "Why are you bringing this Kassin to us for? We have already a guy called Hakko. He has a car. Kassin has nothing. He has torn clothes." So Rabbi Hedaya went to his daughter Mazal and said, "Listen, what do you want to do? Would you like to marry Kassin?" She said, "Pop, whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do." And they married, and Rabbi Kassin was 18 and a half years old, and she was 16. And that's how they started their journey in life.
Okay.
What is your favorite memory of the rabbi?
I think one of the most important things that we've learned over the last years that he was in our community as a chief rabbi is one word: tolerance. he said, we have to have tolerance. And his famous statement always was, middle of the road. Kav ha'em sa'i. Rambam says that. My Magdi says, Kav ha'em sa'i, middle of the road. He said, we shall travel on the king's highway. Derech ha'melech nelech. So he always taught us to stay in the middle. By staying in the middle, you bring the people from the right and you bring the people from the left. And you never, ever chase away anybody, ever. That was his famous words that he taught us. Of course, he taught us thousands of things, but that's one of the things that accentuate right now while you're asking me.
Can you explain the significance of having the same name as your grandfather, and what do you do to emulate him?
I didn't hear what you said there.
What do you do to emulate your grandfather?
Okay. What we do in order to continue his legacy through my father as well, Rabbi Shaul Kassin, is that we look at the ladder. When you go through a ladder, you climb, you ascend up a ladder, you want to go to higher levels of learning or betterment in lifetime. You could ascend the ladder, but you can't have the ladder straight up. If the ladder is straight up, you're going to fall. So what happens? You have to lean the ladder on something, on a wall. And what is the significance of leaning the ladder? As you ascend higher and higher, the ladder has to be bent. So as you ascend, you have to have in your lifetime humility. So even though you're going higher and you're learning and studying and above many people, you still have to have humility, just like Moshe Rabbeinu have the humility of mankind. Rabbi Kassin had that humility of mankind. So these are things that he taught us about having humility and, like I said before, the word tolerance for all. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
We want to thank Jakey Kassin very much for his time today. We learned a lot about Hakham Ya'akov Kassin. We want to thank our 8th grade interviewers, Sarah Shemtov and Leslie Mishon. And we hope everybody enjoys this video. So thank you again. Shabbat Shalom to everybody. We'll see you
Shalom,
next
all the
month.
best.